When you first hear the term robohumanism, you might imagine some doomsday scenario from something like the Terminator or some far-off future where people are half humans and half robots. And eventually that might not be far off, but right now that's not what it is about. It's not about trying to merge with technology as quickly as possible, and it's not about trying to become robots as quickly as possible. It's just a different way of looking at life, a different way of understanding, and I believe a way to help solve all the biggest problems that we are facing in the world these days on an individual level, right? Like social media, like technology, like AI taking over. And there's organizations like, for example, the Center of Humane Technology, who are doing an amazing job on trying to change it on the institutional level. But what I don't find very helpful is that they tend to tell people that there's very little control, there's very little hope. Like, for example, with the Social Dilemma documentary, amazing documentary, everybody should watch it, but it ends with you are practically powerless, and unless these companies change how they operate and change the social media algorithms, you are pretty much doomed. And I refuse to believe that. I want to have my own control over my own body, over my own mind. And if people can overcome opium addictions and other sorts of difficult problems and traumas and addictions, then we can also face these modern problems, this modern world that we are facing in today's world, in a better, different way. So with Robohumanism, I'm on a mission to help create a healthy relationship between humanity and technology. In other words, how do we stay in touch with our humanity while embracing the new world of technology? And to explain why I care about this so much, I want to take you back a little bit. When I was 13 years old, I was bullied in school and I was severely depressed. And I always was very good at science, and I was always very good at math and physics and stuff like this. And that's what I studied in school, and I really enjoyed it. However, I hated myself and I was depressed, and the relationship that I had with myself was awful. I couldn't talk to people. I had severe social anxiety. And so I started studying after I Googled how to be happy because I hated myself so much. I started studying practical psychology and practical neuroscience and human behavior and things like that. And I started discovering a lot of these amazing features and core functions of how our human body and how our human brain operates, and started diving into meditation. And then eventually, after I figured out that physics doesn't have all the answers, right? Like, I used to deny all religion and spirituality and things like that. And then I got into quantum physics and quantum entanglement and things like that, and subatomic particles. And I discovered that while we don't have all the answers, the science also doesn't make sense at some point. And we're only trying to figure out and guess what's next. So I became more open-minded to spirituality and religions, and I started studying more of that as well. And so I was in school, I was studying software engineering and programming and code and robotics. And by myself, I was studying some philosophy and practical psychology and neuroscience and things like that. And in my own life, in my own experience, I decided that the best way to improve the relationship that I had with myself and to get out of depression was to try and overcome my social anxiety and to try and develop relationships with people. And I made some friends that made a huge impact on me, quite literally saved my life. Because we were able to open up and create these beautiful relationships and bonds. And on that, you can check out my other videos where I talk more on social health, and I go deep into the story and deep into that part. But today, I want to focus on more of the full package, right? Social health is a part of robohumanism, but not the full package. So by the time I was about 21, I was working at the time, I was trying to build this business and was studying more. And I discovered the trifecta, right? We have the mind, the body, and the spirit. And my software engineering brain kind of put this together, and I thought, wow, the body it's basically like the hardware, and the mind is basically like the software, and then the spirit or the consciousness, that's kind of like a player. So in a way, like, life is kind of like a video game, and this thing that I'm operating that's kind of like almost like a biological robot that's so amazingly designed. And I started studying it from that angle, right? And we have all of these different features and all of these different parts that we are built out of. And so I started constructing this whole idea of robohumanism and how I can understand myself better right now, and how I can use this knowledge to be more in control of my emotions, of my thoughts, of my feelings, of my behavior, what I do. And I've used this to overcome social anxiety, overcome depression, overcome weed addiction, and start a business and start traveling the world. So I've used these principles to start constructing a pretty good, really nice life for myself. And by the time I was 24, 25, like now, I've traveled half across the world. I've been to more than 20 countries and spoken on stages on 4 continents and hosted events and helped people overcome anxiety attacks and change their habits and transform their lives and overcome social anxiety over the past 5 years that I've been doing this. So I really see robohumanism as a way to impact the modern world for people on an individual level. Right now, it's something that I want people to have hope, right? And look at the robohumanist lifestyle as a way to approach the modern world in a different way, right? Because as humans, we are not built to this modern world, and our world has changed so quickly, so rapidly. If you study human history, for most of the time we were hunter-gatherers, and then boom, we've created this modern world that we are not fully adapted to yet. And so I believe and I hope that and I'm working on this, that robohumanism will become this path how we can stay in touch with our humanity while embracing the new world of technology, and really thrive together, building a healthy relationship. So how is this useful right now? And how am I using this to improve my life and to improve the lives of my clients that I work with on high functioning anxiety or mental health and depression and maybe changing habits and things like that? So number one, I think the identity is a big part of that, right? If I adopt the identity that I'm a robohumanist, I want to become a robohumanist, is going to push me already by itself to seek healthier ways to use my phone, healthier ways to use my laptop, disconnect better, right? Healthier ways to interact with AI and with social media, and be more conscious and cautious of this, and more conscious. So I believe that just the identity part can be very powerful already. And now I have a series and big groups of frameworks to help understand the body better and the life better and the world better, and in turn how to control better. And I'm gonna make more videos about this, and I've already made more videos. You can check them out either on my Facebook profile or on my YouTube page, on my YouTube channel, where I describe some of these frameworks, like how the modes of operation of our brain and of our body, and how we can be more in control, and how we can take more power, control our emotions better, and control our actions and results better that way, for example. And then there's some other frameworks for healthy ways and guides for healthy ways to using social media and healthy ways to using AI. What to do, what to not do, what to avoid, based on just research and my own experience. And also a way with a robohumanist lifestyle matrix that I created, and the Robohumanist Trinity, which is the core principles, which is to take care of your hardware, update your software, and be the player, be in control of your mind and body as much as you can, and shape it and decide consciously who you want to be, what you want life to be, what you want to create, what you don't want to create. So a way to optimize your lifestyle for your specific personal goals and for the modern world as well. Because our world is incredibly fastly changing, incredibly rapidly evolving, and we need to evolve with it. So this is why I think robohumanism is really important. This is what I'm trying to create with it. This is what I'm doing and why. So it's not about merging immediately or trying to create like a doomsday scenario where humans don't exist and we just go towards technology and just become robots and we let go of our soul and spirit and humanity ceases to exist. It's really a way to preserve humanity and help evolve it to the next level. Thank you for watching this video. If you're interested in any of the frameworks, if you want to overcome anxiety or overcome some of your addictions or change your habits or just learn how to use AI and social media in healthy ways, make sure to follow me or check out the next video, and I'll see you in the next one.